What up, worlds? DJ Shakim, and right now you're checking out Connect the Dots, the podcast, all right? Connect the Dots, the podcast. Check it out on YouTube and all streaming platforms, all right? Peace.
And I got a special guest, man, the legendary Mike Swift in the place. Queens, get the money. What's good, man?
What's going on, brother? How you, man?
Man, I'm maintaining, brother.
Yeah,
Maintaining,
thanks.
man. Living
Thanks for
life. Living
thanks for
life.
having me, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. So, humble beginnings, man. Tell me about your humble beginnings growing up, man.
Oh man, um, I grew up in Southside, Jamaica, Queens, 145 in Linden to be exact.
All right.
It wasn't nothing humble about it. It was a very active childhood.
I,
Anything you think of, we did. But we come from good homes, good parents. We came from a community, not like now. Like what I mean, the block I lived on, it might have been 50, 100 houses, but we knew
right.
every last person in each house and they knew us. The block was a family, like that. So all that is instilled in me.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So tell me, man, you're a Queens native. Speak on Queens, because a lot of people have different perspectives on Queens. I used to live in Flushing way back in the day. So
Hmm.
speak on Queens on itself. I mean,
You
what's your
know, Queen,
representation of Queens?
Queens is a big borough, man, but you know how we narrow it down territory like anywhere else. So coming from the part of town I come from, it was all about Southside Jamaica. And then we had
Right,
Hollis. All the other neighborhoods got acknowledged too, but mainly that South Jamaica. Like, what people don't understand, we might say Southside Queens. You got
hmm,
South Ozone, you got
right,
Southside, you got Jamaica, and you got Hollis. Now St. Albans, all that falls under Jamaica. But then you
hmm,
got Southside, which is a small area. So some people say they from South Jamaica. It could be from any part of that. But when you narrow it down to Southside, you basically saying where you really from. But the whole Queens get love. It's thorough people all over Queens. Ain't nothing soft about Queens, from the blacks to the Puerto Ricans, wherever. Everybody is live in Queens. It's about getting money. That's it.
So my cousin's from Hollis. He used to always tell me that Hollis and Southside used to have beef. Is that true?
Hmm. Hmm. Very true. Back in the days,
Right.
mainly at the Jamaica terminal, which is just closed down.
Yeah.
After school up there used to be crazy.
Mm.
I can't lie and say I was part of that. I wasn't. I was outside. I was outside, but I was into getting money. I wasn't into the violent part. I wasn't the one that's out fighting and robbing. Still, I was getting money from a young age, so I was always that smooth, laid back, quiet cat. Just all about that money, and that's it. I wasn't with the violence and the foolishness. I had people around me who wouldn't even let it come to me, so you could say I was protected. You know.
Mm.
But it definitely was a South Side of Hollis beef, very dangerous. But now, they get along. Just like back in the days, it used to be South Side and Far Rockaway. Now that was some real
Wow.
drama. Then it's like we used to say, don't go out to Far Rockaway if you don't have to, because it was that
Mm.
dangerous. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't take me until um 1996, and I
Right.
was in the Queen's house,
Hmm.
and I saw how Far Rockaway and Southside stuck together, and I just had a whole different perspective on it now. Even up to now, half my crew is Southside, half my crew is Far Rockaway, and we all get along well. I just
What's
that's
up?
when you grow up and you mature, all that other stuff is behind you.
Mm.
Mm.
Any Queens stories, man? Any stories about Queens? Because you from Southside, and I know there's a lot of people that made it in the game. Any stories that we don't know about?
Pretty much all the stories is told, being documented on YouTube. I don't want to say names, but
Hmm.
it is what it is. The same stories you hear, that's just how it was. Everybody have their own stories. Some people got names with them.
Mm.
Some people don't, but they still was about it. They probably was getting more money than some of the cats with names. They just done it quietly. So all
Mm.
this Queen stories you usually hear, they're pretty much accurate, because not people would have been spoke up and like, nah, he's lying. it's like if you come from that area, you just be playing yourself to get on any type of media and tell a lie like, yo, I was there, I was part of it, because niggas will shut you down real quick. Like,
That's
even I'm
true.
in Atlanta, I used to do that too. Like when I was in Atlanta, I meet cats, they be like, yo, I'm from New York, I'm from Queens. And I'd be like, wow, they start questioning me like, yo, you know so and so? I was like, I don't know nobody. Ask them if they know me. Cause they was outside, they definitely know me. Like I said, not saying I was all that, but I've been outside for a long time, man. I started
Right.
throwing parties at a young age when I was like 20 years old. So
Mm.
20 years old, and this is like 1990, the height of everything. And
Right.
I'm
Right.
throwing parties with all the live people from Queens, Manhattan coming to our shit. You know what I mean? It was the livest thing in town. So if you was outside, you was about it. You definitely was there. So you definitely knew me. My name never changed. You know how people go through name changes,
Oh
Mike
yeah.
Swift, this, that. I've been Mike Swift since 15 years old. Nothing changed. You could just drop the mic and call her Swift. That's it, you know?
That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So, man, what made you decide to relocate to Georgia, and why Georgia?
It took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I've been since Freaknik. I never been a Freaknik, but I had people that was going down to Freaknik. And I said, like, yo, where's so and so? They was like, yo, he went to Atlanta. He moved down. I'm like, how the fuck you go visit somewhere and move? I'm still young. I'm like
Right.
16, 17 on the block. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what do you mean he moved down there? So I had another homegirl. She passed away a long time ago, but she used to always tell me, you need to come to Atlanta. She like, the same way you throwing these parties in Queens, yo, you
Right.
come to Atlanta, you get make a lot of money. I'm like, I'm not going way down to Atlanta. But I was in VA all the time, Norfolk, Chesapeake. I was in VA, New York, Virginia. I said, I love Virginia. I ain't going nowhere else besides Virginia. It wasn't
Hmm.
until I think 2003.
Mm.
I think I was in the crib, stressed out about something. And I
Mm.
called one of my partners. I said, yo, man, I'm about to take a ride down to VA for the weekend. You wanna roll
Hmm.
with me? He
Right.
said, nah, I'm about to go. He said, I'm about to go to Atlanta. You wanna go down
Mm.
there? So I hesitated. I said, when you leaving? He said, about an hour. I said, fuck it, come get me.
Hmm.
And this was like my birthday, August '03. I never forget. I
Hmm.
came down here and we stayed like a week. When I went back home, I wasn't right. The shit I seen,
Wow.
we talking about 2003 Atlanta, the old Atlanta,
Oh yeah, the old Atlanta.
when
Yes.
when we used to watch videos when I was in New York. We used to watch videos on BT, and you see Little John and them partying.
Hmm.
I was like, that's all video. And they used to show MTV Cribs. They'd be like, yo, they'd be like, Ludacris, 5,000 square foot, 6-bedroom mansion for 150,000. I'm like, that shit
Hmm.
ain't real. That shit was real. All that shit was real.
Yes.
When I came out here, the parties, the houses, everything, it blew my mind, man. So
Mm.
this happened like in August in '03. I went back home, back to Queens, and I was really fucked up in the head. And in March, I came down here and that was it. Established
Mm.
myself down here now. I used to always say, whoever you don't see in New York is down here. Whether they from
That's true.
Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, they down here, man. And everybody's
Mm.
living good down here. Everybody,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. So tell me,
Yeah.
man, Swift Athletics. When did you start
Mhm.
Swift Athletics, man?
All right, this happened during the COVID pandemic.
Right.
So it started as a joke, honestly.
Mm.
I think my it was one of the bedrooms, in my house, the closet bedroom. So my daughter came in there and she looked in my closet. She was like, "Damn, Daddy, all you wear is polo? That's what you got is polo shirts in here." I
Hmm.
said, "I know, man. I'm out here making people rich." I said, "Fuck it. I'm start. You make a joke. I'm start wearing my own shit. I'm make my own
Oh yeah.
clothes." And
Yo
then
yeah.
later on that night, I thought about it. I said, "Oh, hold up, man." It took me a while to come up, with the name, the fonts, the ideas, all that.
Hmm.
And like anything else, I pull it together
Hmm.
and I put it out there. And I had to go back on my saying, how you always say, yo, your own people don't support you when you do this and you do that.
Right.
But my own people showed me different, man, because the sales was
Mm.
overwhelming. I was like, wow, it blew my mind. People was like, I don't even think some of the people wore some of it yet. They just for
Mm.
the support. Like I couldn't even give people discounts. Like I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna hook you up, yo. You be like, give me two of them. I'll be like, I got you. Don't you like, nah. I don't want no discount. I'm supporting you. What you want? How much you want? That's what I'm paying. You know, and that
Wow.
happened in 2020, and to this day, I'm still shipping orders out. You know,
Mm.
people
That's what
used to
I'm
say,
talking
why?
about.
They like, why you don't put it in stores? I said, I want to keep it exclusive. I don't want it to be in Walmart or Marshalls, and you go in there, some little kid done knocked it off the hanger. The shit is on the floor. Step,
Right,
stepped
right.
on with a markdown tag. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
at first, I was selective, even who I let wear, because when you building a
Good.
brand, you
Right.
got people is going to represent that for you. So you see
Mm.
crackheads, fiends, or lame people wearing it. They got who's going to want to buy that?
That's true.
I
That's
had one
true.
homie told me he was like, "Yo, I know you wear it all the time, but you got to start letting other people um wear it for, to build your brand." But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, who's better to build yourself than you?" Because when you got like a clothing line and you got your name attached to it, that's the hardest thing to push because now you're pushing your name. Now, if I would have named it Oxford or red blue linen, then people will probably buy it. But when you put your name on something, you ain't just pushing the product. Now you pushing you. So now you got to watch how you move out in these streets. You can't be corny. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be a lame. You got to watch what you say online.
That's
How many
true.
times
That's true.
how many times you go online? You go online and you
Mm-hmm.
see a post. You just bored. You see a post. You about to comment. You got to erase that shit. Like I got to be careful what I say.
Many
You got
times.
yeah. Because
Yo.
now because I got a brand now, so I got to be careful what I say. You know.
Mm.
But that's how it started, And the Swift Athletics came through. I give credit to one of my partners. One day we were sitting around
Mm.
and he came up with the idea, like, once you make an athletic line out of it, I was like, that's a good idea. So, like, the regular Swift was just like the
Mm-hmm.
everyday luxury brand. And then I did the twist with the Swift Athletics to push it to, like, people in the gym, just people just athletic, like
Mm.
that. So
Right. That's dope.
that's how that came about. Yeah. Mhm.
That's dope. So tell me, man, the commission entertainment. How did y'all start this? Well, I don't know who started. How did you start it, and who makes up the commission?
When we first started, it was a combination of let me see, myself, my partner Shy, was another partner named Dub, my other homie Giant. So it was like five promoters. We came together and we was like, let's just come together, form one entity, do these parts, starting and everything else. We come to all type of names, you know what I mean? I mean, some, how it
Right.
goes, probably 50 names, and then one of the homies was like, the commission, but we ain't see it. I was like, nah, Biggie and them had a group named the commission. And he was like, but he broke it down. He was like the mafia way, like how the five families came together under one umbrella, called themselves the commission. Same thing we doing with the parties. We came together,
Mm.
but unfortunately, in the beginning, when anything is being built, it's a lot of money, blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
So
Right.
vision started going different directions. So some people wanted to do this, some people wanted to do that. But me and my other partner, we've been doing this. I've been doing parties since I was 20 years old, 1990. So this is like a hobby, fun of me. My other partner, Shah, he been doing it just as long.
Right.
So we the only ones that stuck it out, kept pushing, putting money up, pushing, ideas matching, and we still here. So that's how the commission started.
That's dope. That's
Mm-hmm.
dope. Because every time I look, I see y'all. Y'all be having on all black or all white, and y'all together, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love when brothers stick together and do their thing right. You know what I mean?
And that's another brand, like a lot of things our minds is alike because now that it's just like two of us calling the shots.
Mm-hmm.
If one of us have doubt, we don't do it. Like we was doing something the other day, and he was like, "I'm not really sure about that." So you know what? Pull all the money from it. We ain't doing it. I said
Right.
because if you don't feel it, then I don't feel it. I said everything we do without question. So if one of us don't agree
Mm-hmm.
on a small thing, we'll just pull the plug. You know,
That's dope.
that's it. hmm
That's dope. That is so dope. So who were your idols, man?
Oh man, this might sound crazy. My only idol was my uncle. Rest in peace. You know what I mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's the only man I look up to. I respect. It's a lot of people I respect equally.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't have no idols like that. I look up to my uncle, and that was it. You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Peace. So how do you
Mhm.
feel? You spoke about the Coliseum. So how you feel about the Coliseum when it closed down and the memories of the Coliseum? Because I remember
I
Shirt
got
Kings. You know what I mean?
I got nothing but memories about Coliseum. That was like my headquarters. Like I said, I started
Hmm.
promoting parties in 1990. So that was back then when it was just hand flyers. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, of
So
course.
that was our headquarters. Every day it was like a job. Every day it's time to go to the Coliseum. We in front of the Coliseum giving out flyers. You give somebody a flyer, they like, I don't want that shit. Some people give a flyer, go up the block, throw it down. So you look at it like you can't take it personal. You know, everybody's not into partying, but we was hands on. Now I sit on my couch, feet up, watching the game, click a button, I reach 10,000 people. You know what I mean? But back
Mm.
then, it was Coliseum. And when the Coliseum closed, we go up to Green Acres Mall, give out flyers.
Yes, yes,
And
I've been there.
sometimes,
Yes.
and sometimes before the Coliseum, we riding around, going to different high schools, jumping out of cars, giving out flyers. Nighttime, we pulling up on drug blocks, jumping out, giving out flyers. So a
Mm.
funny story was we was hoopty out, 1990. We driving
Right.
hoopties,
Mm-hmm.
not fresh. We jumping out of the car, niggas reaching for guns. Oh, y'all
Uh-huh.
want that shit? Get out of here. So my partner back then, his moms was like, they gotta change our parents, man. You can't be riding around like that. So from there, it was nothing but luxury cars and fresh. So now we pulling up
Mm.
on the scene. When you get somebody that they looking at all of that. When you're in the
That's
hoopty
right.
looking rough, you get somebody
Mm-hmm.
a flyer. I ain't going to that shit. Now you
That's
pulling
true.
up in, BM Benz, little Juvenile, fresh. Yo, come. They looking at it like, oh, I'm gonna fuck them. Like they always say,
Mm-hmm.
money attracts money.
That's
But the
true. I like
Coliseum,
that.
that was yeah, the Coliseum was everybody's favorite place in the world, man. Back in the days. You get
Yes.
anything you want out of there.
I know. I've
Gold
been there a
teeth. I
few
went through all.
times.
I went.
Yup.
I went through all that. The gold teeth. Going up there every day, buying a pair of sneakers when I was 16.
Mm.
Every day just buying a new pair of sneakers just because.
That's
So
what's
yeah,
up.
it
So
was. Mhm.
so tell me, man, who was your top five people from Southside, Queens? It could be any type of genre, what they did. Who was your top five like people from Southside, Jamaica, Queens?
Well, I'm gonna say one person. A lot of people may not know him. It was my OG.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Spanish dude named Harold. He was from 40 Projects. He got me into the
Okay.
game. So that's my OG one. And then when you say top five, was you talking about what they was doing, whatever?
And it could be anything. Your top five Southside. You know what I mean? Because y'all have a lot of
Okay.
history. You know what I mean?
All right. So and the ones I named, I know them personally and they know me.
That's
So I'm
cool.
not just gonna say a name because he popular.
That's
So
cool.
one, I want to say Baby Wise and Black Just. They taught me how
Okay.
to dress. They taught me how to hustle. When I mean say dress, they used to wear the same clothes every day. And that's really like, had that shit on another day. Nigga, like, we out here getting money. So I
Mm-hmm.
picked up on that. It's like, don't be flossy on the block. No jewelry.
That's
You
right.
got the same clothes on. Your underclothes is clean. You have
Mm-hmm.
to play a low key. Then I had another. It's funny thing. I had an OG named Harold got me started in the game. That's when I was on the South Side. And then a lot of people know, a lot of people don't. I moved to my grandmother's house in St. Albans, which is Farmers and Linden area,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when my drug operation started. My
Mm.
OG got me started in
Mm-hmm.
40, but
Right.
I outgrew him, and I went to like Farmers and Linden area,
Mm-hmm.
and I lit that area up. But I had another OG named Harold over there, and he the one that taught me not to spend. I'm like, yo, let's go to the Porsche still. He's like, nigga, you only 16, you can't buy no Porsche. I'm like, why not? We got the money. He said, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't. I said, I'm gonna
Right.
go buy, man, take that shit off. He's like, yo, don't be wearing that jewelry like that. So he taught me a lot how to stay low key and about business. So that's three right there. Then I got it's another OG named Chops. A lot of people know him, a lot of people don't. The
Mm-hmm.
same block I was hustling on, I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was slick all them years. Like the police never ran up on our block. The block was never hot. I mean, never got searched. harassed and nothing, and we selling a lot of drugs. But
Mhm.
couldn't find out, I could speak about him because he passed away, but he owned the whole other side of the block. So he had the
Mm.
numbers, everything. So basically he had the police paid off not to come on that block. And as long as we kept
Wow.
it quiet, we didn't have a rowdy block with niggas sitting on garbage stands, drinking 40s, wilding out. Our shit was quiet. So I give him respect too for the way he moved.
All right.
And then so that's four. See, a lot of my
Four.
top five, a lot of people don't know. That's why I say a lot of it is personal.
That's all right. This
And
your
then
story, brother. You do it. Do it the
yeah,
way you want, bro.
and then let me see, coming in at number five. Let me see. It'll probably snap to me, man.
Hmm.
It'll probably snap to me. Damn, it's a good one right here. Cause ain't too many people. Like I said, I respect a lot of people, but I don't
Hmm.
look up to a lot of people like in that
I feel
matter.
what you're
Cause
saying. Right.
yeah, like not saying I'm better than nobody, but we all human. We all out there doing the same thing, getting money, trying to take care of our families, better our lives, stay out of trouble. You know.
Exactly.
Another one. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. Let me see. Right now, I'm gonna say like I said, everybody I speak on, I know them. They know me. I call them. They answer their phone. They can call me. So round it out. Some people might not like this one, but I'm gonna say my man Prince just came home. I
Yes,
like,
Prince.
I
Shout
like,
out to
yeah,
him.
yeah. I
Yes.
like the way he's moving out here. The way he's carrying himself, the
Hmm.
direction he's going. He's a good brother. I see he's trying to give good direction and knowledge and advice to everybody, despite what they said he did. Like he said, allegedly, the
Hmm.
man paid his price. He's home. So with that said, that's my top five right there, right now.
That's what's up, yo. He seemed like a cool dude. He find,
Yeah, he
I'm
really is.
Facebook
He is.
friends with him. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, he seemed like a real dude, cool dude.
Yeah,
Man, so
I
tell
got a
me,
brother
man.
sit down. I
Huh?
sat down with him a couple of times,
Hmm.
talking. He's a good dude. He's a real good dude.
Yes,
hmm
I like where he's at right now. So tell
Yeah.
me, man, what is the best advice you gave somebody coming up in the entertainment and merch business? What's the best advice you gave someone?
But it's of course it's going to be corny. You know what I mean? Because what I tell somebody real simple is that you gotta believe in your product, you gotta trust in your product, and you gotta push your product. You know what I mean? Some days
Mm.
you're gonna feel like giving up, but you just can't, man. If you believe in something, you just keep pushing, and it's gonna happen. It might not happen, it's gonna happen. But what they gotta understand is you also gotta have a goal. What are you looking to get out of this? Because it's not just about money. Because a lot of
Mhm.
people are successful out here, they don't even realize it because they look based on their success on money and what they have. You know what I mean? Success
Exactly.
to me is like when you set out to do something and you achieve it. Because a lot of people set out to do things and they fail or they just give up. But if you complete it, then you're successful. Now you start talking about the amount of money you want. That's a different ball game.
Mm.
So I just tell people. I used to give advice all the time, even on Facebook. Every day I
Mhm.
used to give advice, but then I stopped. You know what I mean? So now I don't even give advice. But what I do tell people, I always tell people, I said nobody alive or dead has figured out life, and nobody alive will ever figure out life. The only thing you could do is live it to your best ability. Because you know how you always got people saying, this is how you're supposed to do this, this should be done.
Mhm.
Nobody knows how this thing called life work, man. Nobody knows, man. We just
Exactly.
live it the best of our ability. And that's
Mhm.
all you could do.
That's what's up. So, what is your
hmm
biggest success and what is your biggest regret?
hmm I'm gonna see. My biggest success is coming home from prison, changing my life around,
Mm.
getting married. Now, not only am I married, but I've been married for 25 years. So just like anything else, anything is easy to
Congratulations on that.
say that. Anything is easy to get, but maintaining and keeping is the hard. You go out and get a Rolls Royce tomorrow, but maintaining and keeping it is where the work comes in. So to be in the business I'm in, and the area I live in, I'm in Atlanta. The business I'm in, it's hard to be married. You know what I mean? But it's good and it's
Right.
fun. So that's one of my biggest success right there. And my biggest regret was back in 1991, not working with Mary J. Blige, turning her down to work with Jeff Redd.
What?
That's when
Are you serious?
she just came out with the record. What was that? Real Love.
Right,
And
right.
Jeff Redd had this record. What's Jeff Redd record again? Um,
Can't remember right off top.
damn. I forgot. It's play every.
Yeah.
It plays every day, man. But I
Right.
was doing hotel parties back then in the Ramada
Hmm.
Inn out in East Elmhurst,
Right.
and I had the opportunity to book her and work with her. But Jeff Redd was blowing up because of that movie, Boomerang.
Right.
Damn, what's the name of
Boomerang.
that
Right.
record? Man? Damn, Jeff Redd. But we worked with him instead. And I never got a chance to work with Mary again. And now she's who she is. I say it while I say regret, because anybody I ever worked with, I'm still cool with them now. I could call them up because that's the type of person I am. I'm cool. So I'm saying that if I would have worked with her, I probably would have worked with her again. Or who knows what opportunities or doors would have opened just from, you know, being a friend of hers. So that's the only regret I have. Everything else I did, I don't have no regret in nothing. You know,
Cool.
nothing I did, whether it was bad or good, because it made me who I am now. You know.
That's what I'm talking about. So who are the other people? Some of the other people have you worked with besides Jeff Redd?
Oh man, every DJ out I ever worked with that you could think of. Every DJ
Mm,
from the Ron G's, the Kid Capri, the SNS, the Brucey B, the Love Bug Starsky, Queen's Finest, Grandmaster Vic, all the Queen's
yes.
DJs you
Shout
can
out
name.
Vic.
Rockaway Twins, my DJ Preem, the legendary Cutmaster JT, DeWitt, any DJ that had a name I work with. Now, back in the 90s, any artist that had a name I work with. I was snatching
Mm,
artists when they first come out, when they got a hot single on the radio. I'm snatching them, bring them in the club. One of the
mm,
biggest artists I worked with on the street level
hmm.
was Mob Style. I ain't never did a show with them,
Right.
but they came to my club one night. The brother Bimmy, he brought them to the club. He brought AZ, he brought Gangsta Lou and Whip Wop. And this is like
Mm,
1990 when, when they was relevant
right.
out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I never got a chance to actually book them and do a show with them. So I remember I worked with a lot of artists, man. One of the crazy stories was with Das Effects.
Ooh.
Remember Das
Okay.
Effects?
Right.
So my other partner, he still laugh at this to this day because we didn't have a club, so we rented out a Catholic church ballroom, St.
Mm,
Pius, on the
right.
south side. And the chaplain was there, with the thing on and the white thing on. So
Hmm.
he thinking it was just a regular, kiddie party. Mind you, we only like 2021. Then we
Right.
had DOS effects in there, man. We had a whole lot of shit going on. He looked like, because he was DOS effects, they on there cursing and singing. Man, his head almost exploded that he allowed that to go down. Yeah, that
Wow.
was funny, man. Yeah, but
That's
I
dope.
work I work with a lot of artists, man, to the point where I really don't have no favorite, man. I
Hmm.
really don't have no favorite. It was just a lot of memories from each and every one of them.
Mm.
Oh,
Mean.
but I got a chance to work with Kenny Burke, so that's big. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yes, that is
Everybody knows
big.
the rising to the top, Southside,
Yes. Woo.
Hampton, Queens,
That's
Hampton.
the
Yeah,
Queen's anthem right there. Yes.
I got a chance from like I guess looking up to him, the record, what it did for the culture, to
Hmm.
him being a good friend now. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
Hmm.
definitely a good friend.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mean. I
So
like
that's
that.
it.
I like that, yo.
Hmm.
So man, Queens get the money. That slogan. I mean, I always like that slogan. Tell me about that slogan, Queens get the money. Because some people
Mark,
have different, some people have different views of it. But what is your view on Queens get the money?
because back in the days, with all that, the Brooklyn shit and the Bronx, the Carrots one, and
Oh
every
yeah.
borough being known to be tough and grimy. and gritty and robbing and fighting. It was like Queens cats is laid back. It's just about the money, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
then the record came out with Prodigy, Mobb Deep. And in the beginning, remember he was like, Queens get the money, long time, no cash. So we ran with that. Like that's what Queens dudes do. Like every borough had they stamp on. Like Brooklyn was known as them grimy niggas that'll beat you up and rob you. Bronx too.
Mm-hmm.
Harlem niggas was known for getting money. Queens niggas was known for getting money and had all the females. So it just came to that slogan like Queens cats got money. They got houses with backyards and all the other stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
True.
So that's how that
Facts.
came about. Queens get the money. That's what Queens do. We get the money, you know.
That's what I'm talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. So, Mike Swift, I love how your
Mm-hmm.
gear is. I love, especially the Borough hoodie. I like that. But the
Yeah, yeah,
Queensboro,
yeah, yeah.
how'd you come up with that
It ain't that
concept,
ain't that
man?
ain't that ain't just for that. That's I
Okay.
make that for any borough. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you're in Brooklyn, I put the map on it. I put the whatever town you went on it, like Flatbush, East New York, whatever. And I put the New York logo, the whole state of New York logo on it,
Mm.
and of course my name on it. But I came up with that. Damn, I came up with that. I came up with that. I don't know. I don't know how I came up with that one, honestly,
Okay.
man.
All right.
I really don't. I think it was just one of them things that hit me, like looking to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm gonna make a hoodie. I'm trying to think, man. I think I might have seen something similar. Somebody had a hoodie on, and it might have had something to do with Queens. But I said, you
Right.
know, I'm gonna do something with just with the Queens thing. And I said, you know what? I'm not just going to narrow it to Queens. I do it for any Brooklyn, even in Atlanta. I do it for
Mm.
your county. You know, Atlanta. You live in Fulton County. I put
Mm-hmm.
the Fulton County map, the Atlanta on it, the Fulton County, all that. You know, it just got to be
That's
creative with
dope.
it. You know, yeah.
That's dope.
That's one of my favorite pieces, though. That Queens hoodie. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm Queens biased, man. I love
Yeah.
everybody. I respect everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I could go anywhere. You know, I mess with a lot of people from different areas. You know, Brooklyn, Bronx, down here, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just Queens biased. That's where I was born and raised. That's the town that made me. You know.
That's what I'm talking about. Queens Day in Atlanta. Have you been to Queens Day in Atlanta?
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. I actually do
Okay.
something down there that weekend. A Queens Get the Money concert. I do. It's gonna be my
Okay.
4th year doing it. You know.
That's what's up. All right,
I was
man.
a
I
part of that in
love
the
this.
beginning. I was a part of that in the beginning, though. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, the way it happened was, long story short, because I get a lot of flack behind that. I get a lot of people saying, "Yo, why you doing like?" Because it's like they do something and I do something at the same time. So the people
Mm-hmm.
from the borough were like, "Yo, why y'all just can't come together?" This and that. So it's a lot of backstory. I never told my story about it. The people
Right.
that know.
Right.
So the way that started was, it goes back to 2013.
Mm.
I did a day party in Atlanta,
Right.
and I want to bring Grandmaster Vic down. He
Mm.
said he never been to Atlanta, so I set it up. And then he hooked me up with his nephew. He said, "Yo, my nephew want to do it too. Can you work with him?" I said, "We work together." So we did a day party in Atlanta. It was way ahead of our time. They wasn't
Mm-hmm.
doing day parties in Atlanta. They was doing it in New York.
Right.
So our turnout was good. It wasn't great. I said, "We're going. This is 2013." I said, "Yo, we got to work together, do something again." Fast forward 2016, 17.
Right.
I was messing with these dudes from the Bronx, my man Polo, my man Ant, and
Mm-hmm.
Cuzzo. You
Right.
know them. You know them. So they was doing something. They was doing Bronx Day too. But then they branched off because they wanted to, make it bigger than Bronx Day because they said everybody is coming. But the Bronx dudes didn't want to do it. So they branched off and started what they call New York Weekend in Atlanta.
Right.
Their
Right.
event is coming up July down here in Atlanta. They do it every year, a whole weekend, New York weekend in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I was kicking it with them. I said, "Yo, let me do something that Saturday." They was like, "What you want to do?" I said, "I want to do a basketball game." Me and my other part, I got to give him credit too. He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Let's do a basketball game." So we rented out Grant Park. We had a basketball game. I needed a sound system. So we wind back. I called Grandmaster Vic nephew. I said, yo, can you bring a system to the park? I pay the DJ. Yeah, no problem. They came out. At the end of the day, they liked it. They said, can you get the park again? I said, yeah, wow, what's up? What y'all want to do? We thinking about doing I said, no, we can't do no Queens Day because we from Southside. We do Queens Day. We gotta get everybody involved. I mean, Southside, Corona,
Mhm.
Flushing, Far Rockaway. That's how I felt. If you're
Right.
gonna call it something like that, Queens Day, then everybody gotta be involved. So we just wound up calling it the end of the summer, something crazy. We called it the end of the summer Indian Jam. You know how they got the Indian summer, the end of
Mhm.
it's still hot in September, October. So we ran with that for like, I want to say 16, 17, 18. We had creative differences, went our own way. They continued doing it. And then COVID hit. Nobody did
Mm.
it. After COVID, they came back out and called the Queens Day in Atlanta, like
Mhm.
that. I was already still in the mix of doing parties. So as it started getting closer, people was asking us, are y'all going to do something that weekend or y'all just going to sit back? So we said, nah, we're going to do something.
Mhm.
And then we did a big party that year. Then we brought out Kitty Burke. We brought out Onyx. We brought
Mm.
out Father MC. We
Mhm.
brought out Positive K. We brought out Jace from Soul For Real.
Mm.
Over 1,000 people came out. It was lovely. So
Right.
now every year we continue to do it. So it was a little flack back and forth. It's about to pick up again now. You might start hearing it. It only happens around this time because I do
Okay.
parties all year round. So when it comes up on this event, it'd be a lot of side chews and a lot of animosity, a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth. I offered
Mm.
to come together.
Right.
They refused. I left it alone because as a man, I'm only going to ask one time and one time only. So that's the history and the backstory behind that Queen's Day. I never wanted to tell my story, but people was like, nah, you got to tell us. And I really don't let like that.
Yeah.
But every year is always my name getting dragged there. Oh, that dude Swift, he troublemaker, he this, he that. But I'm
Mm.
one of the creators, originators of that. But anything else, things don't work, people go their way. I'm not
Right.
going to stop just because it's not working with us. It's so much money out here. It's everybody can't be in the same place. Everybody want to be in Atlanta, but everybody don't want to be in the same place. So I give opportunity for
Mm.
those to go somewhere else. That's it. You know.
That's dope.
So I say
And
all
I'm
that to
glad you
say.
told your story. Yes.
I say all that to say. September 25th is going to be our fourth one. Queens Get the Money
Mm.
concert. It's going to be a nice one. It's going to be big. Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, I'm glad you told
Yeah.
your story. And I'm glad, yo, that things is going doing good for you, brother. For real, man.
Mhm.
No doubt.
Yeah. Things is lovely. Sometimes I got to sit back and count my blessings because in life there's nothing wrong with wanting more. No matter
Oh
what
yeah.
you got, what you're doing, you want more. But as long as you know it's not greed, you appreciate
Mm.
and be thankful for what you do have. You know what I mean? I'm blessed to live in a nice big house. I come in my driveway, I could just any meeny miny mo which car I'm gonna drive today. My
That's what
family
I'm
is
talking
fed,
about.
doing well. I'm not hurt from anything. I don't have any needs. It's just all wants. So I'm
Mm.
thankful for that, but I still want more. But my
That's what I'm
more
talking
is
about.
not selfish. I don't want more so I could go buy a Rolls Royce, a Bentley, and Frost. I want more so the people around me could have. That's why I want more.
So tell
Mm.
everybody how could they get in contact with you if you want to do a party or promotion, and also tell the people how they can get in contact with you if they want any merch. Drop all your info.
Well,
This is the place to be, yo.
okay, well, Facebook, I'm on there as Mike Swift. It's just that simple. It might be a lot of Mike Swift. I'm trying to think. You'll see me on my logo on IG. It's Mike Swift ENT1, and then it's Swift Entertainment one, and then it's the commission. My
Mm.
pictures is on all of them, so you'll see me when you go to that. And that's how you get in touch with me. DM me, message me, whatever. I answer back. Sometimes I answer slow, but I answer back.
That's what's up. And you heard it first
Mhm.
from the legendary Mike Swift, Southside
Mhm.
Queens in the house.
No doubt. Thanks for
Yo, man,
having me, brother.
man, thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you.
Mhm.
Continued blessings, much love
Mhm.
and respect to you and your family, man.
Same to you, bro. Same to you.
Thank you, man. And connect these dots, no doubt.
Hmm.
This is Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, and I'm with my special guest, the legendary Mike Swift. Southside Queens is in the place. Salute.
Peace, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, bro.
No problem.